launch into 2022, our 10th annual banquet. So we're celebrating in a couple different ways tonight, and a lot of that came about because of COVID-19. We would have had our 10th anniversary in September of 2020 for the Connection Center when we first opened that. We were going to celebrate that at last year's banquet, which would have been our 10th banquet. So now everything got kicked back a year. But guess what? Doesn't mean we still can't have a good time and celebrate, right? One thing I'd like to do, and this is off script, I was listening to Pastor Ken and the little message that he gave. We always want to talk about poor, and we're here to minister to the poor. But can we change that? Because poor, we always get this mental image that it's somebody that doesn't have a lot in their wallet. But truly, isn't poor broken? Aren't they poor in, as Jesus said in the Beatitudes, poor in spirit? But by being poor in spirit, don't we also have those who have broken relationships, poor control of their emotions, and even poor relationships with God and their families? So can we, as a group, from now on, when we talk about those we're ministering to, talk about the broken? I think that would really go a long way. And the other thing I want to say with that is there one of us in this room that is not broken in some way? It's not about them, and it's not about us. It's about all of us together. That's what is so great about Love Inc. You talk to our volunteers, you talk to those who have been on staff, not one has walked away from their service to Love Inc. the same person they were before. We've all changed. We've all been transformed by the love of Christ that we are able to see on a daily basis. And to experience that is truly something. I'm really blessed to be surrounded by people that love me even when they see me growling at the computer and threatening to throw things at it or throw it out the window. But truly, we all have those days, and we need that loving community around us. That's what we're trying to do with Love Inc. We're trying to be there to help transform lives, to empower our neighbors in the community so that they can gain control of the situation they're facing. As I mentioned, we opened our Connection Center in 2020. In 2010, sorry. I'm getting off track a little bit. But one of the things that happened that a lot of people don't recognize, and it was where I actually got to meet Vernon, who I'm throwing under the bus again. But in 2003, so 7 years before Love Inc. actually became a ministry working with the public in Vermilion County, there was a meeting at Community Church of God. Pastor Cameron, that was up here to begin with, asked me as one of the deacons in our church to go to that meeting. That meeting, we watched a video describing a collaborative ministry called Love in the Name of Christ. That night, the group as a whole voted down the idea of bringing Love Inc. to Vermilion County. But it gave us the opportunity to make some connections and to begin serving together. One of the best parts that came out of that was I had an opportunity to meet a lady that night. She was the music minister at Community Church of God at the time. She was acting as the host for the evening. Beth Holycross was a very instrumental part in getting this ministry started with that. It took a while, but 2007, the Ileana Christian Association said, we need to do something about all of these folks that one church can't handle together. We need a collaborative effort. And one of the people in the room had been at that initial meeting in 2003. They said, I think what you're looking for is Love Inc. The rest, as they say, is history. 2010, Vernon and I joined the board. The clearinghouse opened, and Beth took on a role behind the scenes. Beth was one of those special people that no matter who you talk to, if they had any interaction with Beth, one word came to mind: kindness. I can honestly say Beth lived the life and walked the walk as well as anyone I have ever known. We lost Beth right before Thanksgiving last year. COVID is officially to blame for it, but she had a lot of health issues. COVID was just what pushed her over the edge. But I say that we want to honor her this evening and honor her memory, because without her and that introduction that she gave the community to Love Inc., none of us would be in this room tonight. We would not be sharing this meal together, and we would not be celebrating 10 years of ministry had it not been for her desire to reach out to those that are broken